In this week's Retro Pop Culture News, a Flintstones sequel is being made, Robocop is getting its own documentary, and the Noid is back. And we have a lot more news to talk about, so don't turn that dial. What up to my peoples, and welcome to Retro Crunch, your number one source for retro pop culture news. And to start off the retro news, yabba dabba doo! So it has been a while since you've heard or we've heard any real news on some good old Flintstones gossip, but it looks like Fox Network and Warner Brothers, they're working on a new Flintstones sequel called Bedrock. The animated show is going to be a direct sequel to the original Flintstones that started back in 1960 and ran for 166 episodes. Not only was the Flintstones the first ever animated TV show to get a primetime spot on TV, but the Flintstones was the most financially successful and longest running network animated TV show until The Simpsons came along. But in this brand new series titled Bedrock, the show is going to jump 20 years into the future, and here's what Deadline.com said about the show. Bedrock will follow the Flintstone family 2 decades after the original, with Fred on the brink of retirement and 20-something Pebbles embarking on her own career, as the Stone Age gives way to a shiny and enlightened new Bronze Age. The residents of Bedrock will find this evolution harder than a swing from Bam Bam's club. Elizabeth Banks, which you might remember from Hunger Games, she's going to be producing the show, and it's also going to be starring as Pebbles, or as the voice of Pebbles. But there's no word yet on who's going to be voicing the rest of the Bedrock cast. I hope the animation is going to be similar to the 1960s Flintstones, and if they can get voice actors for Fred and Barney that resemble the old show, that's going to be a real plus for me. This show is going to be geared towards adult fans of the Flintstones, but if you're a fan of shows like Futurama or The Simpsons, this might fit well within your weeknight schedule. Also, if you want to catch up on the Flintstones before this new series airs, check out the streaming service Tubi so you'll be in the know. Then next up, I did not even know about this until recently, but not only is there a Robocop documentary that's being made, they just wrapped filming. Talk about being under a rock. I don't know where I've been all this time. But the good news is, it's done and it should be released pretty soon. It's actually titled RoboDoc, The Creation of Robocop, and apparently this documentary has been in the work for like 4 years already, and there is a lot of great Robocop stories and background that you're going to see in this documentary movie. Best of all, Peter Weller is doing some interviews in it, and I cannot wait to hear what he has to say. Then moving on, I have a quick update on the I Love Lucy biopic called Being the Ricardos. Actually, it's a Twitter update with some pictures. From what I can tell, these are of Lucille Ball when she's a little bit older. It's obvious that this movie is going to be going for style rather than having the 2 lead actors of Javier Bardem and Nicole Kidman look exactly like Desi and Lucy from real life. I just don't see the resemblance though. These pictures are from the Twitter handle, The Film Updates, if you want to go check them out for yourself. And a few more biopics that I've been tracking are Kiss. They have a biopic called Shout It Out Loud. The original band members are going to be producing this film. And also there's reports of a Boy George biopic that's in the works, which I'm real anxious to check this one out. So Boy George, he's always been one of those people that's been real interesting to me. And I can't wait to see some behind the scenes looks of what his life might have been like in the 80s and 90s. And another one that I'm real interested in is there is a Jim Henson biopic that's being made that's going to be about the life of the creator of the Muppets. And then we have our first trailer for Steven Spielberg's West Side Story. The cinematography on this looks amazing, and I really hope this is going to be good. But to wrap up the movie news, it looks like Noah Centineo is no longer going to be playing the lead of He-Man in the Masters of the Universe movie. So I'm not really sure where they're going to be going with this project or where it's going to move forward, but this really sucks because I thought he was a really good pick for this movie. And moving on, here's some retro merch to keep your eyes out for. So Zavvi, they announced a cool Back to the Future collection. They have some sneakers and some clothes and a Back to the Future board game that's going to be coming out that I'll link to down below. And if you're a fan of the Rocky franchise, you can pick up a set of 6 cool looking pins that are to celebrate the 45 years of the Rocky franchise. There's a Mr. T pin in there that looks really cool. Oh, last but not least, have you seen The Noid is back? So this annoying character from Domino's, he's actually back in another commercial. And I believe they might be selling some merch on Amazon. If I can find the link for that, I'll link to that down below. Finally, be sure to check out the next video right there. I'll catch you on the flip side, and remember, if it ain't retro, it ain't worth watching.